Okay, so we're 3 weeks into quarantine lockdown. I'm still deeply embedded in banana bread and bonding mode. Anybody else have that right at first? Yeah? And then I woke up one morning, and it is like all the fear, all the stress, all the worry, all the anxiety hit me all at once, and I was on a roller coaster plunging down fast. And I quickly shifted from banana bread and bonding to wine and wallowing. Now, I'm no stranger to the roller coaster, as many of us have dealt with lots in our life, but what really got me started thinking about this roller coaster that we take is 13 years ago, I was in corporate America, and I was in a leadership role. I did corporate espionage. Okay, it was market research, but it sounds cooler to say corporate espionage. And loved my job, was married, had a 10-month-old baby, and then unexpectedly, my young 30-year-old, healthy, college athlete husband died of a heart attack in his sleep. Now, I can talk about this now without being a big ball of tears because it's been 13 years. But at the time, wow, was that a crash of the roller coaster of life. But what it also set me up for was the rise. It set me up for such an amazing journey to figure out how do you navigate the ups and downs of this life that we're on? Because every one of us in this room has dealt with hard stuff. And right now, we're dealing with hard stuff. Figuring out where do we fit? Where does our job fit? What are our industries doing? What are our kids, what are they getting out of distance learning? How are they going to grow up to be, productive like Steve was just talking about? What are the ramifications? So as I started going through my journey and figuring all of this out, my research nerd self came out. I went to the International Science Fair in high school. Have been a researcher ever since, and really got into biohacking. When you look at the way that your physical body impacts your emotions, your mentality, your leadership ability. And all of that research culminated into me standing in front of you right now. I left corporate America about 8 years ago, and today I want to share with you some of my very favorite tips for biohacking your energy, ways that you can show up even when you feel like you're like a downward spiral on that roller coaster. So I want you to think about this. When you're in a really positive space, really happy, hopeful, excited, and joyful, your body is filled with feel-good chemicals. Now, I could go super nerd, but I won't. I'll just tell you feel-good chemicals, and I'll mention some of them later. And when that happens, they impact you down to the very cellular and atomic level, which means you're actually vibrating, literally vibrating scientifically at a different level, at a higher level than when you're in a lower place. When you're sad, you're anxious, you're depressed, you're fearful. You have different chemicals circulating in you that impact you down to the very cellular level. So if you walk into a room and you're really happy and excited, people can literally feel that. It's measurable photographically, microscopically. And we've all been in a room where someone walks in and you're like, whoa, they woke up on the wrong side of the bed and they didn't even say a word. That is your energy. And when I say energy, it doesn't mean you have to be like, woohoo, rah, rah all the time. Energy is about deciding what you need in the moment to bring your very best self to what the people around you need. So whether you're walking into a meeting and you need to totally own that room, whether you're working with your kid on distance learning and you don't want to kick them into the next week, whether you're talking to your partner about something and you don't want to punch them in the face. It's what can you bring to that moment and biohack yourself with little tips and tricks to help you be your best. So the first G that I want to share with you, these are the 3 G's of energy, has to do with endorphins. Now endorphins, and that doesn't start with G, I'll explain in a minute. Endorphins are released in your body when you move, so exercise, when you're doing something that is creating great momentum in your life, and also when you smile or laugh. Now, I'm going to ask you to do one of my most popular exercises right now. It's also one of the exercises that gets a look of, I hate you, from the whole audience when I first say what it is. Has anyone in here ever done laughter yoga? Okay, what do you do at laughter yoga? You just laugh like an idiot. And I literally saw your butts clench, and on the live stream too, because people are like, oh my God, I don't want to do that. I'm going to look stupid. We're all going to be on the same stupid boat, okay? So here's what you're going to do. On the count of 3, I'm going to ask you to laugh, and it is going to be fake, and it's going to be forced, and it's going to look stupid. But as long as I'm doing this, you just keep the laughter going. You keep making sounds. Do it out loud. None of this like, okay? Don't laugh in anyone else's direction because we are socially distanced right now. And make it really awkward, make direct eye contact with someone. Normally I would say invade someone's space bubble because everyone hates that, but we don't do that now. But this is something that we're gonna do to flood your body with endorphins, because what endorphins do is it helps increase focus, it helps increase memory retention, it increases your cranky resting face to a happy resting face, it improves the way that you show up to a room and trust from people around you. So we really wanna be sure that you've got endorphins going when you're on that low place in the roller coaster, okay? So is there anyone that doesn't know how to laugh? Okay, so everyone's good, okay? Live stream, you guys do this too, even if you're just laughing at your dog or your kid or your spouse in the next room. Okay, count of 3, you're just gonna start laughing out loud, fake, forced. Ready? As long as I do this, you keep going. 1, 2, 3. Come on, make some awkward eye contact. Look at each other. Come on. Come on. Keep on going. Woo-hoo-hoo. It's awkward. And what I just did, that little that you did after, that was like the endorphins, like embedding themselves in your cells. And that 30 seconds that you just laughed, even if it started fake, by the end of it, you had some real laughter going. Even if you were laughing because I looked dumb, or you felt stupid, and it was like a defense mechanism, laughter and that 30 seconds, you weren't thinking about COVID, you weren't thinking about your to-do list, you weren't thinking about stress, you were just thinking about the moment, and you were just there. And that endorphin boost isn't just gonna last for right now. It will last for several hours. It's like a little buzz. And I actually do laughter yoga in my most popular program, the Happy Hour Effect. And let me tell you, you know who the best audience has ever been for laughter yoga? And I didn't even see their butts clench once when I asked them to do it. A group of turbine repair union guys. They loved it. It was like 70 guys, all, they're turbine repair union guys. They brought me back 3 more times because they loved laughter yoga. So don't assume that your audiences don't want something that might not feel like a fit. Sometimes being pushed out of your comfort zone and doing something like that actually will really benefit your audience. So the first G is giggles. Endorphins come from giggling, okay? Now, second G, gratitude. Now, why is this a biohack? Well, when you express gratitude, whether you write it down, whether you just feel it in your body and soul, whether you say it to someone, it releases oxytocin. Oxytocin is the cuddle hormone. Like when you hug someone, when you get close to people, we can't do that right now. So isn't it so important that we get oxytocin going? So when you express gratitude, it gives you a flood of oxytocin, and oxytocin is proven to reduce anxiety, reduce depression, and it actually reduces pain receptor triggers in your body. So you actually feel less pain when you express gratitude. So right now, I want you to just take one moment and write down something that you are extremely grateful for right in this moment. And it can be something big in your life, your family or something, or it can just be the cup of coffee sitting next to you. So just take a moment and write something down. I'm grateful to Angela for being a trailblazer and having this meeting. I'm grateful to wine. I'm grateful I had to biohack. My proven stage shoes were too big. Nothing else shrunk during COVID, but my feet apparently did. All right, so everybody got something that you're grateful for? What's something you're grateful for? Your job, right? Like right now in this crazy, weird time. Now send love, whatever you wrote down. I want you to just send energy and really feel it, yes. And then imagine that it's sending energy right back to you. And you just gave yourself a little oxytocin boost. You just gave yourself a big warm hug. So that's the second G, is gratitude. Third G, gifts. When you use your gifts that you're naturally inclined to showcase, whether it's a skill, a personality trait, you send out signals to your body that, yeah, we're in neural alignment. And that's super nerdy, so I'm not gonna go into that. But you release serotonin. Serotonin happens when you're in the flow. When time escapes you and you're totally in the zone and you're high performing and you just feel yes, I love it. Everything's easier, everything's more fun, a lot less friction when you get things done. So when you use your gifts, that's a great way to give yourself that serotonin boost and give yourself a little biohack when you're on a low part of a roller coaster ride, right? So one exercise I do in one of my programs called the Spectrum of Awesome, it's a personal branding program that I do mostly for leaders and association meetings, is I have people identify your 3 words, but the caveat is it's the 3 words you want people to say about you when you are not in the room. Now, we know that wherever you're at on the roller coaster can impact what words people may describe you as. If you're down here and you're not having a great day, words will be way different than your ideal words. So what I want you to do right now is just write down the 3 words you ideally want people to say about you when you're not in the room. Take a quick moment. Is anybody writing down like judgy, cranky, stressed? No, you're writing down awesome words, right? Helpful, caring, funny. Those are things that are your gifts, that are in alignment with who you truly are, and you just give yourself a massive, massive serotonin blast when you use your gifts, which can help you be more focused. It helps to create better decision-making. It boosts your magnetism, because people know when you're in your gift, right? They know when you're in the zone, and they're like, dang, yeah, I want to be around her. I want to be around him. And it's really about how you want to be remembered, right? And when you use your gifts, you're absolutely remembered for the person that you want to show up as, both at work and at home. So today, when you're thinking about, what do I want to remember from Kristen? Remember the 3 Gs: giggles, gratitude, gifts. Most often, I'm used for opening keynotes because I bring lots of high energy. I don't use PowerPoint. I really actually biohack the audience by giving them all of these endorphin boosts, because that actually helps people retain what they're learning, gets them excited about the event. I have a 750 square foot virtual recording studio off-site, not at my home, and I have 8 or 9 different backdrops that I can use so I can still be engaging for those of you that are watching virtually, because that is not going away. And I also leave people with power shots, things that they can take away to take action in the next 2 weeks. So if you want to chat, come find me at lunch. I got a little freebie 30-day energy reset for you. Otherwise, thanks for being here, and thank you, Angela.